be a hoe. Be a hoe. But be a safe hoe though. Like protect yourself and don't get pregnant. That's why she's sitting over there feeling trapped. Trapped with Steph Curry. Sometimes you gotta go through some stuff to really appreciate what you have. She probably ain't never been hoed. She probably ain't never been drugged through the mud by a dude. She probably never been. She probably never had a heartbroken time and time and time again. That's why she can't really appreciate what she has because it's like I need something edgy. I need something fun. Like this mom stuff. This being married to Steph Curry, this shit is boring. And now she's really rebelling. She wanna be in the streets. She wanna be desired by other men. She probably wanna do something with another man because she probably never experienced that. Like when did they get together? Like high school or something? That is not enough time to be out in the world and do stuff and experience stuff. Like you don't have to experience a whole lot. But I don't think she experienced anything at all. And now she's tied down, married with kids. You can't go do your thing right now unless you go do your thing and run the risk. Like you ain't just no Lucinda from down the block. You're Ayesha Curry. If you go mess with anybody, trust me, we gonna know about it.
All right, so let me play one more video that
Bum.
that sort of piggybacks on this from Miss Keita. Oh, y'all can't see this.
Before they actually want to do with their lives. A lot of it is because of the societal pressures that's placed on women. You can't wait until your 30s or 40s because then you'll be too old. And in your 20s, you shouldn't be worried about a career or your education or starting a business because then you might run the risk of losing an opportunity to be somebody's wife and have somebody's baby. And that's the stupidest that was taught to us. Focusing on yourself, let alone building a career while you're taking care of kids and uplifting your husband, is extremely difficult and sometimes unsatisfying. And as a woman, you are not allowed to say that without facing a whole bunch of shame. But I don't give a about shame. If you let what society says run your life, it will run you into the ground. Women are not allowed to talk about the realities of being a wife and a mother, especially a mother. When I made a video talking about what motherhood really was, so many people, especially women, were mad at my comments. Well, I don't feel that way. My children gave me purpose. Without them, I wouldn't even have a reason to be here. Well, that's your purpose. One person's purpose might be another person's personal hell, Rebecca. Thank you for sharing. Ayesha Curry is the result of a woman that followed the natural progression of things. You're supposed to meet a man and have a baby immediately. And that's why people were so mad at her when she said women should cover up. Women should cover up like we were all taught. And then she said, well, maybe a bikini isn't so bad. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's fun to have a fat ass. Might be. You won't know unless you try it, Ayesha. Women are mad at Ayesha because she's living their dream life. You found a rich man that takes care of you and you don't have to do anything but sit on your ass all day. You should just be happy. But she didn't say that she wasn't happy. She's expressing the differences between reality and expectations. Everybody wants a rich man. Diddy's rich. You want to go over there? You want to play in baby oil basements? And are mad at her because Ayesha breaks the illusion of women will just be happy and satisfied with me if I have money. They'll just be happy to be in my presence. But that's not true. These same men finally get money, but then they're confused when they don't feel loved by the women that they chose. And you can't tell them the reality of the situation, which is that woman doesn't really love you. She's with you for your money. Like you might have been chasing a fantasy built off your expectations, so you chose a baddie and ended up a saddy daddy. You ended up a saddy daddy. More and more women are coming out and being honest about their experiences. I'm happy being a wife and a mother, but this is harder than I expected. I thought I would be more satisfied. I thought this would give me a purpose. But then I found out that I still have to find myself, still have to get to know myself and give myself purpose. So if you want to wipe 10 asses or shake ass in 10 different cities, both are equally acceptable, and women are allowed to choose whatever path they want to choose at whatever age and stage of life they're in. Be as difficult as you can today. Ayesha didn't say anything wrong. A lot of women get married and pregnant in their early 20s before they.
Okay.
No, that shit. Hey, bro. Hey, hold on. I ain't even say nothing about it. No, I ain't gonna say nothing about it. I'm addressing her.
I see some nails collecting.
Do y'all think she kind of cringy?
Oh, I don't think any dude that right now will give it her.
Like her mannerisms and stuff. You don't think she? Cringy?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah.
Like she
Nah.
like she just like if a dude was like that, we'll call it like that dude kind of lame.
I disagree.
I don't think she.
Who's
I think
that other chick we were talking about who was playing her best friend? and she started talking about how she was strapped for money because she had to shop at H&M or something. She reminds me of that.
Oh yeah, yeah. What's her name? B Simone.
Yeah, she reminds me of her with her delivery.
Yeah, that shit. That's ugh. But yeah, you. I'll let the girl go first. Yeah, go ahead.
But outside of her mannerisms, do you agree or not agree with what she's saying?
I don't agree. Because this is the thing, right? The reason why I don't agree, it just sounds like a bunch of excuses for decisions that you made. You didn't have to continue on life with them. You didn't have to. If this is not what you wanted, you didn't have to. I know my mom. She had 3 kids, got her master's, and had her career while my dad was making average earning, but then built himself up till he wasn't. He was above average, and she got to do whatever she wanted to do. If you got a husband that's a multimillionaire and you got 3 kids, and even before you had the kids, you could have did whatever you wanted. She had a cooking show. He was positioning her to do stuff, right? Doing stuff at a bigger skip the whole grind situation of getting out the mud. You could have been like right there, giving her the platform, giving her all this. I think a lot of the stuff is just one of those things where maybe she wasn't ready to be in that lifestyle or whatever, but she chose it. Just like I hear all the time, women would be like, you some dudes would choose that woman and he decided to get with it, so he bear the responsibility for what he chose to be in with whatever how the situation ended up. If she was you can tell that she was on some whole shit. She was dating Offset, dating this rapper and this, that, and third, and still got in a relationship with this guy. And now you surprised that that girl acting the way she acting when she clearly saw how it go. No, it's a decision that she made, right? Uh Being an adult is hard at times, right? In general, uh being in a long lasting relationship, especially marriage, is going to be hard at times, right? I think this whole situation, she should have just went to her therapist instead of putting want to talk about herself about all that stuff while putting down Steph Curry. I know that's debatable depending on how you feel. She could have went to her therapist and talked about this stuff. We talk about therapy all the time, but now she out here talking to a whole bunch of random people that she don't know and already know how the internet go on internet. Now Steph Curry still has not himself said nothing. Nobody would know who she was unless it was for Steph Curry. She should have just all these other women that's like going through the same thing she going, but they staying quiet. They staying in their relationships way longer. Why you got to go talk to all these people that you don't know and you getting a whole platform? Like the same play, bro. This shit crazy, bro. Y'all laughing at me?
Nah, man, laughing at he put therapy on the bottom of his name, bro.
Oh, but yeah, like it's like the same play. All these famous guys that grind, get to where they want, get to where they want to be the men that the women say that they want. The women come out, hey, I gotta find some kind of notability or something like that. So I'm gonna go on this platform and talk about our relationship while simultaneously doing little slights, or you're not intentionally doing slights, but you should have some kind of like discernment. Like maybe I shouldn't be saying this stuff about this some stuff I need to bring to my husband, or if we already talked about it, I don't need to tell this to the public. You don't have to tell everything to the public. You don't, because people are not going to understand your situation more than you and your husband that you talk to on a day-to-day basis. Now you got
This nigga's extremely selfish.
you got outside entities dibbling dabbling in your business, which they should have no business in. This should not even been on social media. I know one thing: if it was me currently with my wife, if out of nowhere she go on a show and she talking about the hardships maybe me and her went through that I didn't want out there, or we already talked about it, I'll feel embarrassed. And I think if it was the shoe was on the other foot, he went to Steph Curry. Like, man, I thought she was going to be more clean around the house and all that type of stuff, but I got to get through that. I thought she'll cook more. And yeah, I didn't want kids, but she did. So, I gave her kids, you know what I'm saying? But, it's hard out here. I'm playing basketball and this, that, and the third. It's hard to be a husband. And also, I don't really get no looks from girls and stuff. I would like to get some looks for some girls and stuff like that. Man, it'll be a whole different situation, bro. They'll be like, go out there and hold it, bro. That's what you want to do, right? But now we gotta have this understanding coming to Jesus shit because she a woman and it's hard for her to be a woman. Man, be a damn adult, bro. Keep your business offline. That's it, man. That shit irritating, bro.
I mean, it's keep your business. I mean, even in normal life, if you got a girl who even goes to, just say y'all got mutual friends and goes to like your friend's wife and talks stuff about what's going on in your house, that shit's fucking embarrassing, man. Like it's like even though you're trying to say that you're trying to let it off and tell the truth, whatever the case is, to try to feel better, but you in the same breath you like embarrassing someone else.
Go to
like
therapy.
I don't. Yeah, this is when I say women will need therapy. I would agree on that. Go tell someone that y'all don't know.
You guys fought so hard about it when I was bringing it up, and now it's like, embrace it, which I love. I appreciate, that.
No.
I think women need therapy. I think women need therapy for sure. I'm not saying men do, but women. I would preach that.
No. We listen, but I'm saying if you got to get to the point that you got to go online and talk about personal stuff, that's not anybody's business except the person with your husband. That's the reason why back in the day, old folks used to say, keep y'all shit in y'all house. Don't be telling everybody y'all shit. Because shit like this.
I think there's two sides to that. Because like what old girl, not this one, the other one was talking about, the reason why women back in the day were stuck in the situations that we're stuck in, and like how I can even go about like pregnancy and things like that. Because women aren't supposed to talk about these things, we end up in situations. So I don't know specifically what Ayesha has said or done or whatever, but explaining how you're feeling or what you're moving through, I think is good to tell other people. Now, I'm not saying like they need to go around and tell all the business about certain things. I get that, but I do think it needs to be spoken about. And I think that when women do talk, she's not wrong. The other one, that it's very much like you need to keep that in the house. You need to keep that in the house. But now we're actually voicing it, and it's a problem. It's kind of like when you guys were talking about how like men are voicing now how they're feeling, and it's a problem. But we do need to know these things. We see this big grand thing, and that's not exactly how it's working out for her. Not saying that she's not happy, but I can say that about pregnancy too. Women talk about it's so great, it's the best thing ever, and kids are so great, and they're the best thing ever. Pregnancy is a scam for a lot of women. Like, it's beautiful and short and all that love, but some people don't enjoy it, and some people love their kids and still don't like sometimes that they have kids, things like that. But if we don't talk about it, we're never going to know.
I think those two different situations though. Like that's something every woman is going through pregnancy. Yes, they need to be informed about things, and that you're doing that. But when it comes to this situation, I don't think anything she said was helpful. I think it was just negative things that was going on, and it was said, and it was like personal stuff within the confines of their marriage. Right? It's a difference between we just up here talking about general stuff that happens in marriage, as far as like we just having conversation talking about communicating effectively and how to position yourself as far as gender roles in the house, if you want gender roles in the house or not, this, that, and the third. Saying that you didn't want to be married, saying you want to get attention from other men, all that stuff, that's not cool, bro. That's not cool at all. That's not totally different. If I went out and embarrassed my wife like that, I'll be divorced because she ain't playing that shit. And Courtney know my wife. She's real sweet, calm. I have never heard her yell in my entire life.
I'm glad you just said that, because I brought up the question that I was holding, which is, do you think these women nowadays are just coming out doing this because they want to get a divorce? They don't want to be the ones to initiate it?
Nah, I think
hey, she would make out if he did divorce her.
I think
she would make out big time.
I think social media did a number on people to a point where they feel obligated to do it now because it's such a normalcy. Because you can always get your confirmed bias. I done seen men and women go out this girl like, you tripping, shut the fuck up, keep that shit in the house. But there's always gonna be a pocket somewhere in social media that gonna have people that's gonna agree with you, so you can get your confirmed bias, so you can feel good about what you said, right? if I go to my friends and my friends gonna hold me accountable and say, girl, don't go up there and say that shit. Go to therapy, or you can talk to us. We can work it out. We know stuff. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now it's a situation where she gonna have to hear some hard shit. That's how you actually progress through the relationship. But no, I'm gonna go out here and say this shit, and I'm gonna have all this bad bitch high five shit and say, girl, we understand. It's all good. We're gonna come to Jesus moment. It's real hard. We get it. No, go talk to some people. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, go talk to some people that's going to better your relationship. That stuff that you thinking and talking, go to somebody that's been in the game long enough, and they be like, I've been there, done that, felt that. All those people that he know, that stuff know, the OGs and all that shit, they done been through it. Go talk to the basketball wives, the real basketball wives, not the ones on the show that ain't wives no more. They'll tell her how to navigate through that shit.
Hold on real quick. So let me play this video real quick.
Absolutely. Yes, we get to drink. Marcel? Marcel?
I'm pretty sure all of them divorced.
So yeah, that was one of the videos I was talking about as well. Before I played the videos, when she was kind of faking and playing as if she was taking off her ring.
That shit horrible,
bro. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all those women on there are divorced.
I understand they playing or whatever it is, that and third, but when it's come to marriage, bro, I take that shit serious. I do not play about that shit.
I think if that was the only thing she did and she was like different in like the way she shows herself, I don't think that would have been a big deal. But just piled on top of everything she's done, yeah, then that could be a big thing. But if she was like one of the ones you never hear anything from and just always supported Steph, and she did that pull the ring off thing, I don't think it would have been a big deal.
I'll be like Steph. I'll be like, if I was Steph, I'd be like, I get it. Just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
But he's one of those dudes. He's one of those dudes that all the women say that would a strong woman could get a man with a lot of money. He's one of those dudes. He is the one unicorn that's like makes a shit ton of money and is soft as hell. Like as far as like what like how much his woman can get away with.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll be like, stop that shit. Cut that shit out.
Yeah, but that's not most
fucking money.
Like typical.
Just like Jada. Like Jada, anytime she wanted some ratings for her show on Facebook back then, she always brought up Will, which tarnished some of his brand.
He had to go along with that shit. Smiling.
Nobody looks at Will like we were looking at Will before all that shit was going on. Nobody. No matter
he ain't Mike Lowry no more.
He ain't Mike Lowry no more. No matter how you feel about what was right and wrong in the situation, just them bringing up what was going on in that household fucked up the bag a little bit. Not too much. He gonna be all right. But I'm just saying that it went down a little bit. I just think some people feel as though they want to go online and say what they want to say and find and reach that audience of people that's going to give them that confirmed bias of what's going on, and they're going to clap. But after she do that, when she go home, did anything get better? No.
Oh, he's still there.
No.
You couldn't. I couldn't even imagine like Denzel wife's Washington's wife. Would she think she would agree with the stuff like that she's doing, or you think she would be like, that ain't cool?
What's the lady, Miss Huxtable? What's her name?
Claire Huxtable.
Felicia Rashad.
What's her real name?
Felicia Rashad.
And her sister. Do you think any of them would come out and do that?
Oh, 100% no.
Can we pull out some more like more modern instead of like 80s?
Savannah James.
Savannah James.
Who's Savannah?
LeBron
bad with
James.
names. Tell me.
LeBron James' wife.
Okay. And I'm just wondering, maybe is it the reason why it's such an issue is because we have as a collective a view on how we see people's relationships, and when then someone says something and shows you that that's not what it is, it's like more of an alarm where it's just like, well, that's not okay, because it was supposed to be when you do all the things and you like you did, he got the money, he did the sports, he did all these things, like he's supposed to have a perfect wife that shuts up and doesn't say anything, and they have kids and they're supposed to live this happy ever after. And now that she's saying, not saying she wasn't happy, she's just saying this isn't how I thought it was gonna go, and then does like some little jokey stuff.
That's not it. That's not it. I think most men just like respect, and I think
I think it comes from more. I think it also comes from the context of everything she said prior to that, right? Because in her mind, she wanted to be she wasn't expecting, because he thought he was going to be a coach, right? That was one part. He wanted to be a coach. It didn't happen that way, but she thought that she was going to be the one that was going to be the actress, the one that was going to be in the media. Pretty much, it reversed. He was going to be the one that's not in the media as much. She was going to be the one that was in there.
Okay.
And so I think deep down inside, I think she still has that notion to be that, to get herself in the media. So I think that's why she's doing what she's doing now, to get herself into the media, get talked about, get that visibility, and have people constantly keep talking about her to get her into the algorithm. I think that's what it is.
In addition,
do I think it's going to hurt their marriage? To be honest with you, 100%, I don't think it will. But I know everybody has their idea on it and what's going on. Like, maybe they had the conversation prior, like, hey, I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna be in the media. I may say a couple of things, but just understand, they might know what it is on the back end. We don't know, but we can only go by what we see. That's it.
But what if Stedman came out and was like, yo, he's like, I didn't really sign up for this. I'm a man, and I feel like in this situation I'm not a man. And like, you look like he's fucking crazy. Like, yo, you got a cake life. Your girl's a billionaire. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, if he came out just talking shit, saying like how he is not the man in the relationship that he wanted to be, I think a lot of people would be like, especially women, would fucking crucify his ass.
Yeah,
I think most men just look at the situation. They put themselves in it because they put themselves in it and be like, damn, I would feel disrespected if she went out and said that stuff, taking her ring out, talking about she want attention from other men, giving our household business out to everybody and all that type of stuff. I think it's just more of that. It's not her looking like a perfect wife, because we already know nobody's perfect. I'm married. I know all my friends married. I just had a kickback last week, and we all looked around like, damn, all of us were married. All my family members married. My brother's married. Sister's married. My wife's her whole family was married. So I just have a whole marriage situation, and I think most people just look at it like that would be disrespectful in our eyes of saying what's going on in your household. It's not necessarily that she's a perfect one, because I know my wife ain't perfect, but I ain't gonna be, and I'm not perfect. But we work through those things in the household, and we're not telling everybody about those things that's going on. That's what make our relationship even more stronger, because nobody don't know what the hell we got going on. We work through them. We don't need the outside influence of what's going on inside our household.
Interesting.
I mean, I think on both sides, I think we all have a friend, maybe not necessarily like a direct friend, but people may have been in a group or something. We know that their significant other can sometimes be a little disrespectful. Like, you might have a girl who's always talking with the dudes, just hanging out, and just being what I call touchy-feely, just shit like that. And the dude won't say shit. He's just chilling. And you have some dude on the other end who's always in front of his girl, hollering another chick. Like, almost, pretty much not necessarily like giving a number away, but you look at him like, God damn, if that was me, there's no way that shit would happen. And then sometimes just those people that they're with, I don't know, they just take that shit. I don't know. But for most people, that would be really disrespectful.
Interesting. I don't know what Ayesha has said all this time. So I can't tell if you guys are taking what she said in context or running with whatever's been said about her. But I'm sure it takes a lot for any type of celebrity to be vulnerable and say how they're feeling in their marriage. And I think it's pretty real of her to kind of go through whatever emotions that she's going through and express them. I would keep my mouth shut with a lot of things, because the more you let people in, the more they're going to chop you down and form an opinion about you, and it can affect your marriage. So me personally, I wouldn't go out and say some of the things that you guys are saying that she said, but I mean, it's very real. If she's on a podcast or on a show with women and they're discussing womanly things, like being in the situation that she's in and being unhappy and having a conversation behind that, I think it's important that we do share those conversations. And if she's vulnerable enough, and if their marriage is strong enough for her to have those conversations, I think it's great, because it allows other women to relate and maybe make better decisions going forward. So I don't necessarily think that what she's doing is terrible, but it's a personal decision. And if her and Steph are good, then I think, more power to her for having that conversation. And even though, if you're in a situation where you're with your girlfriends and you do the little pull my ring off joke, it's not a big deal for a lot of women, especially when you've been married for a long period of time. I've seen white women do that often. And it's just very much a joke. And, you know that they're very much in love with their person. They would never leave their person. So
I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
I think it just depends on, the type of company that you keep and the type of people that you're around for the most part. People change. As a mother, you change. After motherhood, you change. Before you're a mother, you're different. When your hormones change, we're all ever changing people. So I feel like, maybe that fairy tale that you thought you wanted in the beginning, you don't want that anymore, because your life has gone a different way, because society has changed, because things have changed. So I think we need to give people grace to go through the things that they go through, and not be so judgmental and quick to say that somebody's a horrible wife, or that she's doing the wrong thing here and she's doing the wrong thing there.
I'm sorry, go
ahead.
No, I was just saying the grace factor. The reason I would say I would probably give grace, because we just saw LeBron James. Pretty much, he was asked the same question in regards to his relationship, right? Hey, it's not peaches and ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm paraphrasing here, but he basically saying, yeah, it ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go through the mud. You're gonna go through the different things, right? And you just leave it at that. But I think when the situation comes, and I get it from her standpoint, she's just expressing the fact of what it is, what it is to be a mom, and what she expected in her life, how she was growing up, and what she thought her life was going to be. Now, me personally, do I think that is detrimental to the relationship? No. However, if it was just this situation and not the things previous to it, then that would then and only then I'd be like, she's just saying what her experience is as a mom and what she thought what life was. But everything before that, then you lead up to this. Now it starts to become an issue. Like, all right, Shorty, you've been in the media a few times already, and you still keep throwing shade at the relationship or what it is that you want. Is there's an itch that you want to scratch, and you keep hinting at it, and so everybody's catching it. It's like, okay, what you got going on? Like, are you really you trying to get buzzed down? Do you want to go through this whole phase? Like, is that something that you missed? You got a FOMO, you got a feeling of missing out on being a hoe, actually getting buzzed down. Like, what is it? What is this situation that you got going on? Because if we're going to be fair across the board, because again, I already said, I don't think what she said in particular into that interview was wrong. I don't think anything was wrong with it. However, I gotta say, if the shoe was on the other foot and the man was out here doing this, he would get crucified. And we gotta be honest and fair about that. We know he would. Every man would get crucified across the board, even if he didn't do anything. If he was playing, if he saw a woman in a bikini, he faking taking the ring off, all of these different little subtle things, he would get crucified. Well, he got a good woman now. See, this is the problem with men today. Y'all already know the stories. It'll be like that. So if I'm
the same way for Ayesha, so
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I agree. So therefore, that's why I got to be fair across the board. I don't think what she said is wrong. I personally don't think what she said is wrong. But everything that led up to that interview is why people are saying what they're saying right now. That's it. That's the only thing.
Even the hoes are saying that she need a whole face. That's how you know they didn't keep it too.
This is a perfect situation for her and Steph to talk about an open relationship or bringing in somebody else for a little bit of fun or whatever. This is one of those situations where it's like, okay, maybe this is something that she can explore if he can be cool with that.
He really like religious, right? So that ain't happening.
Yeah,
like she said that.
You never know, and I think this is why, in the sense of. Because you're saying like, because he's really religious, but it's like we have this picture of people just from what we see on social media. And then when they show us something differently, and then we're like, oh my God, I can't believe it, blah, blah, blah. Just because you're religious doesn't mean that you're not going to work to better your relationship.
No. She literally said that she thought he was going to be a preacher. Like, that's how religious it is. It's not just he just religious and he just walking around here and it's just like a perception. She's saying she explained based how he lives his life. She thought he was going to be in the direction of being a coach and he was going to be a preacher. So usually preachers. Okay, y'all.
So would y'all say the same thing if it was a woman? Hey, someone tell me who's a woman that's like in the media, like very, very like goody two shoe, like seems like she like on the straight and narrow. I can't even think of one right now.
Beyonce.
But, okay, I wouldn't even say that, but just say Beyonce.
You
cool.
think Beyonce's a hoe?
I'm not saying she's a hoe. I'm not saying she's a hoe, but she's not like. I'm not saying she's like a choir girl, but like, well, again, what if it was like Beyonce and then Jay-Z was like saying, all this other stuff? Would you say, hey, maybe Jay-Z should take this to their house now and say maybe they should have an open relationship? If you know fucking way y'all would say that. Y'all would not say that. Y'all would like, huh?
He cheated on her.
Again, this was an example you gave me, but
I know I get what you're saying, but what I'm trying to get to is like we have an image of people, and then we're shocked when that image is shattered because it's like you can say that about anybody who's a goody two shoe, but then show something different because we thought that Ayesha would be different, and now all of a sudden she's speaking, and then for some people they don't like how she's talking. From what you guys are telling me too, personally, right now I don't know everything that she said, but I don't fully see how this is like so detrimental for their relationship from what I'm getting right now. Per se.
Like, for him, I don't think it'd be an issue. I think he'll be all right. He'll just go through and like wash up. With most men, no, they wouldn't let that shit slide. But the situation is that she has had her friends. Her friends do not. This is the thing, because you get a lot of girls in here saying, "Hey, you should do like pretty much what you want to do." Like, it should be more women saying, "Hey, yo, maybe she's making a bad decision. Maybe we should not be the ones supporting this bad decision." Because at the end of the day, most people want what they have. Like, you can say they don't or whatever, but most people do. But also to me, it kind of reminds me like that spoiled brat who's had his parents are rich as fuck, and he comes out and says, "Yo, like, I want to get the fuck away from my parents," even though he's gonna take in his trust probably like $5 million. He's gonna be fine, but like almost like I can do this shit better on my own. You kind of like, you spoiled motherfucker, really? Like, It's just really kind of wild to me, man.
I think the thing is what you're missing, Ash, is this what Courtney illustrated. It's not about the image that we're thinking that she was. That's not the case. Like, it's everything that Courtney was saying. If it was just this one interview and she said we said, it wouldn't have been a big deal. We're talking about all the other things that kept leading up to it. That's the thing. Like, it's like,
all
okay,
the things that she said.
I know. Everything
that we just said,
like big. That's like, this is what I mean. Let me know. Like, tell me that, so then I have something to build off of.
One of the main things was she mentioned that she wanted to know what it felt like to get the type of attention from men, in her DMs, because her husband was getting all the attention, and she wanted to know what it felt like to get that type of attention from other men.
And you think that that's bad that she mentioned that? Like,
100%.
that's detrimental?
Yes, 100% that is. Why would you want other attention? You should
hold on.
Because she's wondering how it would feel.
Would you want y'all men to go out there and say that?
Voicing something that is a thought of like, damn, like, I wonder what that's like. Like, that's not saying that she wants to go.
Let's be real. Let's be real. Hold on. Let's look at Ayesha Curry. Look at her face. do you think she truly has a problem with getting attention from men? Is that something that she even needs to even speak on? Look at her. She is not an ugly woman. So we know men are in her DMs. So we aren't dumb. One thing they not about to do is play in my face. She is not an ugly woman, nor I'm not dumb. There's a lot of men in her DMs. Even your basic chicks, they getting a lot of men in their DMs. So for her to even say some crazy shit like that in the first place, it's already throwing up a red flag. Okay, so why are you saying that? We ain't dumb. We know you getting DMs. We know niggas trying to shoot they shot at you. We know somebody they trying to put you in the mix. So why is it the fact that you need to go out on the I think when she was on The View, I believe, go on The View and spew out some shit like that? Why? Because again, because we gotta play both sides. Because we gotta play both sides. At any given moment, if a man says, "Listen, man, I know I'm married, you know, I love my wife and everything, but man, sometimes man, it just feel good, you know what I'm saying, to get some attention from women, man. I want that type of attention from women, man. Like I want chicks to look at me, I want chicks to adore me. Y'all telling me y'all ain't gonna feel no type of way about that? Well, not y'all.
Men do feel that way.
Most women.
Men do say
telling me
that.
most women aren't gonna feel some type of way about that. Let's be honest.
People always want to feel attractive.
But you're gonna say it in the public. You're gonna say it in the public setting where millions of people are gonna see it when they know you're married. So you telling me
your wife a multi-billionaire superstar from all over the goddamn world.
Y'all can't be serious. Y'all cannot be serious.
No, bro. What it is, dog. What it is. That's a whole issue with like the dating scene now, bro. From what I'm hearing, there's no boundaries for women's feelings at all. They can say what they want to say, no matter how us as men should just take it. Because I agree, feeling some type of way. If whatever they want to get off, they can do it. No boundary. If a man go out there and say that because we're seeing a woman doing, they'll say, "Oh, it ain't no problem." If it was another guy, it's okay, nothing like that. Right. They do say it, but if it was just a dude out here acting like a degenerate knucklehead, talking about he wants some attention from other women while he's married to a woman that's out here doing her thing and he benefiting from it and all that type of stuff, it will be a freaking issue. If he was doing, he pop up every now and then and hitting towards that stuff, they'd be like, look, men being men, he got a good woman out there and that still ain't enough. He still want to go out there and be in them streets. It'll be wild. They would not be saying this junk right now.
Who said that Steph was supposed to be a pastor?
Ayesha Curry.
Yeah. So this how the fuck y'all want a pastor's wife walking around talking?
You said what?
He's not a pastor.
Oh, okay. So because he's not a pastor. Yeah, y'all got it.
That, and you're kind of proving my point, is like I feel like y'all are really looking at how you view some women in mine. Not, you can say that for me, on what some of the things that are being said is kind of like you view women as like just to shut up in color.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Hold on, bro. Like, wow, bro. Wait. That's like, come on, bro. I ain't even getting to give my own take on this whole situation to begin with. Mac and Mark has been talking the whole time.
Oh, shut up and
color. I'm gonna tell you, shut up and color. I mean, realistically, if more women did shut the fuck up when they make a plan, shit would go better. But we know in this day of social media, that's not gonna happen.
That's proved my point, bro. They don't want dudes to have no boundaries, no feeling towards something.
I didn't say that you couldn't have boundaries. We're literally talking about her specifically. Y'all are allowed to feel how you feel, and I'm having
no. But the thing about it is, we're talking about her, and you're trying to understand the reason why men are feeling the way they are feeling.
No, I'm trying to understand.
Hold on. Yeah. Okay. You're trying to understand what we're feeling. We're communicating to you is more than just her image or whatever. But that's what you stuck on. And I said what I said according to what he said. He said, feel like we just want her to just shut up and color. That is why.
And when I say that, okay, because when she expresses something that she is going through and showing like a human experience, you guys are like, she should have never said that. She should have never did that. But then you also are saying if a man did that, then it would be different. Then it'd be an issue.
No. So okay, listen. Just okay. I'm gonna explain it.
You got it, man.
I'm gonna explain it. We're not saying that she can't talk about her experience and everything. We're talking about, once again, everything that followed up to that, and and saying some things that should have just been in the household. That's what we're saying. That's what the boundaries is. That's what it is. Things that should have just been left in the household, or she go to therapy, or they go to couples therapy, or whatever. That's what we're talking about. That's it. What we're saying, and I was drawing a conclusion, is we're saying there's nothing wrong with what she was saying or whatever. We're saying what's wrong is she should have not said that outside. We're not saying she can't be a human being. And what we're drawing to, if a dude turned around, it was doing that and was embarrassing her, it will be a problem. We're not saying that she can't just do nothing and just shut up in color. We're saying it'll be a problem.
Y'all are embarrassed for Steph, but Steph's not embarrassed by this conversation.
Y'all do it. I mean, women put themselves in places of how they will feel in certain situations where other women, what they go through when men do some bullshit. Y'all do this. It's the same situation. That's what makes humans human.
He was cool with her having these conversations.
She's done it all the time.
No, hold on. We're not going to sit here and act like we're not on a podcast and we just want to say, hey, how you feel about the situation?
I'm asking you a question. And you're not answering the question.
Answer the question again.
Would you feel different, or would it be different if Steph came out and said he was cool with her having these conversations?
I wouldn't.
I'd be like, that's how he feel, but to me, that's still disrespectful to me, because I know I have my worldview. I have the way I was raised. Y'all have y'all way of y'all raised. I'm looking at the situation. I don't like it, right? She's not my wife. It doesn't matter, whatever. But if we're on a podcast talking about how you feel about the situation, hey, I don't like it. It looked crazy and everything that nature. I have the right, just like she has the right to say how she feel about something. I have the right to say what I feel about it, right? But here we are. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like, because people are saying their opinion, it's like, well, you can't say that, right? But even though he came out and say he cool with it, I still would feel a certain type of way. I'm consistent.
And I think it draws from the issue too that even Ayesha Curry, even on the biggest platform that she's on right now, you know, the visibility that she gets, there's a lot of women who do it on a lower level. They get on these platforms and they go ape shit on their men, or they talk about the experiences that they have with their men, and just out on a lot of different things about their men when the men don't give their story. You know, when they're talking about how, oh, well, I married a good man and X, Y, and Z, saying all this extra shit. So it's not just the reason we talk about Ayesha Curry, because of Ayesha Curry, of course, the views, the visibility and everything right there. But there are a lot of women who are doing it on the lower level. We all see it. We all see it's story time on TikTok. We see a lot of that. And so that's the bigger issue. It's like, why do you feel as if you need to get online to go out everybody's business? And mind you, you're outing your business too. So therefore, you are not above criticism, regardless of who you are. So you have to be cognizant of what you say. Even us on this podcast, if we say some crazy shit, guess what? They're gonna be people who gonna be like, hey, bro, nigga, you way out of pocket, or hey, shorty, you way out of pocket. It is what it is. That's part of it. But again, I'm more so on y'all side on this aspect of it. The only thing I say is that it's everything that led up to it is why everybody's talking about it. Why everybody has an issue with what she's doing is because of the things prior to this situation. Is why it's like, all right, shorty, that's too many times. That's strike 3. The fuck you got going on? What you trying to do? And then you got chicks like this on the screen who are egging it on. Well, you should have a whole phase. Why? No. Yeah, you can talk about it, but if you don't act on it, you straight. Cool. You talked about it. You had your conversation. You thought things were going to be different. Your life ended up entirely different. You got the perfect man. You got the man that every woman would dream of. Multi-millionaire. This man don't cheat. He's a spiritual man. He rocking with you, supporting you in every aspect of your life. So it goes to show you this perfect relationship in itself goes to show you that a lot of women just can't be satisfied. And it's not all women, but it's a lot of them.
It's not about not being satisfied. It's about having more experiences. And sometimes people want to have more experiences when they haven't done that. That's why this woman is saying like you should have a whole phase before you go and get married. So yeah, if you sometimes, so that you don't have this urge or this feeling that you want to step out or whatever, yeah, you should go and have some experiences that you haven't had before. Like for example, I would say, if you haven't lived by yourself before you get married, it would be good for you to go and have your own place before you decide to get married with someone, because that's an experience that teaches you certain lessons that you need to learn, and that would be valuable before you get into a marriage or start living with someone. So I mean, there's certain instances where you're like, yeah, before you go and do something, you should have this experience first. And I don't necessarily say, you should have a whole phase in particular, but you should go and have some experiences before you decide to get married.
But like, what experiences though? Outside of having a whole phase, what experiences do you need that you can't experience living with your parents and then moving to a house with your person?
Well, you have more discipline. You get to have that peace. You get to understand the experience of living by yourself and picking your own furniture and decorating the space that you want to have on your own, and bringing people over when you want to have them over, or having a dog if you want to have a dog, or living the way that you choose to live, and understanding that how you want to keep your household is how you can keep your household, and it may be different from your parents. And it's always going to be different when you decide to go from your house to someone else's house.
Can I ask you something though? You think in a lot of situations that it could be detrimental on some shit that you might feel might be good for you, but in the long run, you find out later in life it wasn't a good decision. And do you think there should be some people that sit there and say, you know what, dude, I know you. I know this won't be good for you, even though you feel it right now. I know you might feel this shit, but it's not good. This won't be a good move for you to do it this way. Do you think we should let everyone do, if they have that feeling, just let them do it? Or not? Don't say anything about it. You can't make no one not do anything, but at least have that pushback and say, I don't think that's the right move.
I think you can have the pushback for it, but it's about growth. That's like saying the pot is hot. You're going to say you're going to go your whole life never touching a hot pot? Not saying that you have to because people told you that it was hot, but sometimes you have to learn, you have to grow, you have to evolve, you have to learn that shit was hot. So, and that's how, I'm not saying every certain thing that you have to learn, but there are things that should be learned or, would be nice to have learned, like moving out and living on your own, being solo, having a hoe phase or whatever someone considers to be a hoe phase.
I don't think, especially that a whole phase for a woman, I don't think there's not one scenario where that works out good. I'm just saying, I don't think.
I disagree. I disagree. When you're between the ages now, it's different, certain ages and how you maneuver, and everybody sees a whole phase differently. You could say you slept with one person and that's considered being a hoe. You could say you slept with 20 and that's considered being a hoe. But
that's crazy.
It's not.
What's considered a hoe? Yeah. That could be to this panel because there are multiple people that talk about, if you slept with more than 3 to 5 people, you're a hoe.
But that's not good.
In one night, maybe.
It's on the person. And that's all I'm saying. It might not be for you, but to some people it is. Whatever number y'all feel like then is a hoe. Because to some women then, 5 people is considered a hoe. Y'all are thinking more than 20 is considered a hoe. So this is what I mean, that there's a difference. But in all those people, there was something that was being learned. That's like going to different jobs and getting experience. It's the same thing with life. It's the same thing that y'all have experienced. When you go out and you've learned and you've done all these things and now you have it, and so that you can come into a relationship and have a healthy relationship because you don't have certain things that are in the back of your mind that you wish that you did.
I never wanted to experience the hood, and I grew up in the suburbs.
I never want to experience being in the hood, bro.
Hold
on.
No, I'm not. It's the same principle. It's the same principle. I'm just using different situations.
That can be for everything. That can literally be like, I don't like soda, so I disagree that other people should drink it. It's just like we can go that for tit for tat for all of it.
Never been to New York, never wanted to experience it.
Then that could be for anything. That could literally be for anything. You're taking like one thing and being like, oh no, I'm telling you, if that is the case, then you literally haven't lived life at all. And not saying
but that's my point though. But my point is you don't have to experience everything in order to
No, but if you want to experience those things and you can't experience those things after you commit with someone, then it's important for you to go and have that experience.
No, it's
that
not.
way you're not sitting here wishing coulda, woulda, and hoping and having these conversations and being critiqued or even bothering to step out and do those experiences. It's about living the life that you want to live. So yes, if you wanted to experience driving a motorcycle before you die, then yeah, you should probably try and get a motorcycle before you're 75 years old, and it's way more dangerous for you to drive.
But if I committed to myself and said, no, I would never get on the motorcycle because I'm committed not to, therefore I won't get on the motorcycle regardless of how much I wanted to. I'm committed.
But it's okay for you to talk about that motorcycle down the line.
But that's my point. I'm not tripping on the talking about it aspect of it. I'm not tripping on that. I'm not tripping on that.
But she's talking about it.
No, we said it about 15 times that we're not tripping about that part.
You said it's what led up to this, which means she has said multiple things that have led you to what you're feeling right now.
This is proof that women hear what they want to hear.
Exactly, bro. That's what it is, bro. You said about 15 times.
I've been misunderstanding this entire time that it wasn't the fact that you guys said it led up to right now. It's what she did previously that led her to right now. You guys are telling that.
Yeah.
I just said that. So what do you mean?
Everything
I just said that, but you guys are telling me I wasn't listening. So what
that's not the importance of it. That's just not the importance.
You said we're tripping on what she said. We're saying
what led up to here. She said something, she said something, she said something, she said something, and now you guys are here. That means what she said led you to here.
Consistently.
We don't really focus on her,
exactly. She spoke, and now you guys have an issue. So I'm confused on what you're confused on.
Oh my God. We're not saying we have an issue with what she said. It's about everything that led up to it to be disrespectful.
All right, well.
God, we'll just agree to disagree because I'm literally hearing you, but apparently it's not registering how I'm saying it. But that's fine. I hear you and understand fully what you're saying.
No, I
think you're talking about the ring thing. The ring thing on itself would not have been disrespectful. The ring thing on itself wouldn't have been disrespectful, but everything else that led up to it made that disrespectful.
I hear you guys.
She understands.
If you want me to change the word, her action, and then she said something led to it, sure, go that way. I hear exactly what you're saying. She did.
But we're not focused on her, though. We're not focused on her. Like her situation, we're not focused on. We're focused on the situation of how even normal people aren't famous. A lot of times, the girls will go out in their friend group and do stuff like this, talk about it, embarrassing the shit out of the dude. So we're not really focused on them. Who gives a fuck about them? Mainly, there's a lot of people who listen to this or will listen to this. They probably go in the same situation with their girl or their dude who goes out in their friend groups and talks about stuff that's going in their relationship and embarrass the shit out of them. And they don't know why. They think they just letting out. They're telling their truth. They're telling their truth, but they're not thinking about the other person that's involved in that truth. That's pretty much what we're trying to say.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Marcus, bro.
Okay. But I mean, it's happened multiple times, and I'm pretty sure they've discussed it. So I mean, like,
it might not be him. He might be okay with it. Which I think he probably is. We know a lot of weak people who let a lot of shit go by. We know that. But there are normal people. There are normal people that are going through this shit who are probably arguing with their girl back and forth, and she just ain't getting it. She thinks she's telling the truth. But she's also embarrassing the shit out of the other dude or the significant other. Say both ways. Men and women do the same shit. That's what we're trying to say.
Right. And so when I said that you guys just didn't. You just wanted her to shut up.
No.
Like
oh, God.
You don't want her to talk about the things that she's going through because it makes him look bad.
But you're not getting. You're not. But I want you to shut up. Keep talking, but just don't talk about all the stuff.
That is what I'm honing in on. Like, you don't want her to talk about her relationship and the things she's going through.
Is that all she got to talk about? She can talk about nothing else. Talk about work. Talk about some other shit. Don't talk about what's going on in your house or your relationship. What people, especially people that person knows, like that shit ain't cool.
Like you have to be cognizant of the things that you say in the public because everybody can take it and spin the narrative. That's the point that's being made. You have to be careful of the narrative. You can talk all you want. You can say everything you want, but if you were to ask me a certain question, Ashley, there may be in regards to my personal life. Yeah, I can choose to answer it. But if I know that it could be a detriment to the family, I'm like, nah, I'd rather not. I just keep it broad. Like, nah, I'd rather not. It's cool. Nah, hey, we chilling. And then I just move on from it. But if I start to deep dive, yeah, man, you know, I thought this was gonna be this, man. I don't know, man. No, typically, man, I wouldn't marry this type of chick, bro. But I decided to marry this kind of chick. Guess what? Somebody can spin that narrative and take it to a whole different level. That's the only issue. That again, I stand on what I said. What she said here, I don't think it warrants anything or the disrespect, but it's just everything before that for me. So what she said in that interview and everything, I'm not really tripping on it. It is what it is. Yeah, they just have to be cognizant of the things that they say. So no, I don't think it's a shut up and color. You know, I don't. But just be cognizant of the things that you say. Be careful because it can backfire. Regardless if it was, you know, an innocent thing, you didn't think anything of it. You gotta understand the media. They can spin that shit in so many different ways.
Yeah.
So it is what it be. It is what it be. It is what it be. So I guess nobody. So y'all quiet now. I know you want. I know you got.
What we said. Like we're just talking in circles now.
I'm done.
Everybody good. Well, listen. Let